Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sari and you are watching my knitting podcast videos. Today I have Marlon, our cat, with me in this video. He's sleeping here on the bed with me. And if you are new to my channel, I'm a knitwear designer from Finland, and usually in these videos I show what I've been knitting lately. Things I have on my needles, things I have just finished, new patterns coming out from me, and also if I have plans for my next projects. So I have everything here next to me that I'm going to show you in this video. And I could actually start with this one. This is almost ready. And I only have the bottom ribbing left of this one. This is my Luminen pullover. It's actually already my second Luminen pullover. I published this pattern about a month ago already, and I made it first in white. So I used We Are Knitters the wool, which is a super chunky yarn, and I used natural colorway. It's like this really nice white color. And then I decided that I wanted to host a knit along, and this is a super easy top-down pullover with Raglan sleeves. You can see here the Raglan increases and this lace pattern on the front. So I thought this would be really nice as, for example, a first sweater project. And I decided to host a KAL, and you can find all the KAL information in my Ravelry group. I will link the Ravelry group and thread, the KAL thread in below this video, so you can check out all the information and see what people have been doing and knitting and discussing around this knit along. And also everything about the deadlines. So the KAL deadline is December 15th, and We Are Knitters have also provided me with a small prize to share with one person who has finished their Luminen pullover during the knit along, and they have promised that I can give away one gift certificate to their web shop. So that is 90 euros worth like gift certificate, and you can use it to buy any knitting set kit that has like yarn or pattern, up to 90 euros from their web shop. So it's a really great price. And also they gifted me with yarn for this second Luminen pullover. So for the second one I chose the wool in the colorway Bordeaux. So it's super nice. It's like a deep burgundy red with a hint of purple. So it's like a really dark cabernet wine color. Super nice. This is actually my current color crush at the moment. I usually always get like one color that I'm really drawn to, and at the moment it's like this dark burgundy. And for example, about a while back I saw this girl who had a wool coat of this color and also like this wool hat in the same color, and it looked so nice. I want the same things, so I seem to be gravitating towards this color at the moment all the time. But it's a nice color. I absolutely love it, and it's one of my favorite colors. And I think if you watched my questions and answers video a while back, I talked about my idea for a capsule wardrobe and how I make my finished knitting projects to fit in my existing wardrobe. And I said that I had selected just a few colors that I use, that are my favorite colors that I bring into my wardrobe, and when I stay mostly in that color selection, then I can make sure that everything works with each other in my wardrobe. So it's not like I have something in bright yellow and then orange and green and everything like I used to have, but now I have just small curated set of colors, and those were like, of course, white, black, gray, and then different shades of brown, and like dark green, like forest khaki green, then blush pink, and burgundy. I think I mentioned in that video that there aren't really that many burgundy yarns or other stuff available at the moment, but now it seems to be coming back to fashion, so I'm super happy about that. So I'm intending to bring more of this color into my life. So this is the Luminen pullover, and Luminen means snowy in Finnish, and especially with the white pullover, this lace pattern on the front in white, it looks kind of like drifting snow, so that's how I got the name, or the idea for the name. And you can see here it's quite easy. It has only a 4-row repeat for the lace pattern, so it's suitable even for advanced beginners, I think. So that's the Luminen pullover, and the next thing I'm going to cast on my needles is going to be another chunky sweater. I already made one version of the sweater in the summer. The sweater is called Talvi, and it was published in the October issue of a Finnish crafts magazine called Suuri Käsityö. And I've had worked it for Novitas Hyggewool, which is also a super chunky yarn, but it's a bit less it's a bit lighter weight than for example We Are Knitters the Fool or Wool and the Gang Crazy Sexy Wool, Katja's Love Wool, and so on. And because Novitas Hyggewool isn't that available or easily available overseas, I wanted to rework the pattern for slightly chunkier yarn, because at least for me, if I knit Novitas Hyggewool with 10mm needles, I get 9 stitches per 10 centimeters, whereas for these slightly chunkier yarns, I get 8 stitches per 10 centimeters. And it might sound that the difference isn't that big, whether you have 8 stitches per 10 centimeter or 9 stitches per 10 centimeter, but when you start to think around the whole body and thinking about that mistake multiplying, so it easily becomes well, 10% too big or too small, so you can't like really just change the yarns. So I wanted to rework the whole pullover for a different gauge, and the Talvi pullover is already being tested. I just haven't started my version of it yet, but I have the yarn ready, and I'm going to use Wool and the Gang Crazy Sexy Wool. This is the Glow Up Cream colorway. It's super nice. It's white, but it has these little speckles, and it has like neon yellow, neon orange, neon red, neon green, so it has a bit of character, even though it first looks almost like it's white, but then it's kind of like this disco white, so it's really nice. So I'm going to use this for the Talvi pullover, and I'm planning to release the pattern at the beginning of December. But with chunky yarn like this, it only takes me 3 to 4 nights to finish a sweater because of the big needles and so on. So as soon as I get the second Luminen ready and I get the needles from that work, then I'm going to start with the Talvi pullover. Another thing that I wanted to show you, I have a pattern in the new AMIRISU magazine, and this one was inspired by movies, and when they asked for submissions for this magazine, the prompt was to tell your favorite movie and then pick a sweater or not a sweater, but any design you want to make based on that movie. And I thought long and hard what I wanted to select, and then I settled on My Neighbor Totoro. And it's one of the movies that I have seen the most times. I think I saw it the first time I was something maybe 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. And I have always loved anime, and I love Miyazaki's movies, especially Princess Mononoke. It's one of my favorites as well. And I've seen Totoro multiple times, and now that I have my own child, I think we first watched the movie when Theo was the same age as me, and he fell in love with the movie immediately. And it was so eye-opening to watch the movie again, and when Theo was the same age as me, I could relate to the movie in a whole different level, because seeing my son and the similarities between my son and me, and now my son still loves Totoro. Every time I ask him if he wants to watch a movie with me, he says he wants to see Totoro, and I've lost count how many times we have already seen it. But neither of us ever get bored of the movie. And now Theo is like closer to Satsuki's age, and I think I see the movie again differently. So I wanted to do something based on Totoro, and I thought long and hard what I wanted to do. I didn't want it to become like too costumey, so I wanted to create something that when you see it, you immediately think of Totoro, but you don't feel like you're wearing a Halloween costume, so that you could easily wear it to office or whatever without feeling that you are dressed as a Totoro. So I came up with this idea of using cables. This is my original swatch for the design. Using cables to mimic the patterns on Totoro's stomach. And I wanted to use Mohair yarn to give it the extra like fuzziness, the furriness of Totoro. So this is the swatch that I made when I submitted the idea. And for the design I used Trek, AMIRISU's own Trek yarn, and this is the Snowtop colorway, and it's combined with AMIRISU's silk mohair. This is Shironeri, so this is the combination I used for the design. And let me show you how the design looks like. I'm super happy about it. It's actually one of my favorite designs. I want to cast this on for myself. So here's the design. It's called Satsuki, and you can see it here. Also here, I also love these photographs. I love the way AMIRISU takes photos and their style and their layout. So this is just came out last weekend, so it's a really new magazine. Super happy to be part of it. There. What else do I have on my needles? I have this one. This is the Foxberry Pullover. Also with this one I'm ready to start the bottom ribbing very soon, and then it still needs sleeves, as you can see. So this is a top-down circular yoke sweater with this lace pattern and little bubbles here between the lace panels. And I'm calling it Foxberry because this kind of like look like fox faces, and then there are the little bubbles, the berries between the lace pattern. And super happy about this. It's been so nice to knit, and still thinking of whether I will add a bit of lace to the cuffs as well. I'm not quite sure yet. I think I will do that, but I haven't settled on the idea quite yet. Let's see how it becomes. And this was actually something that I submitted for a magazine, and it wasn't actually selected, but I really liked the idea and I liked the design, so I wanted to cast on it immediately anyway. And it was originally meant to be a summer design, so I submitted it for a summer t-shirt, and I used like this crispier merino DK weight yarn for the swatch I made. But when I decided to cast on it anyway, I went through my stash and I settled on this combination. So I'm using Knitting For Olive's merino, and this is the autumn colorway, and this is organic merino wool from, I think it's from Spain, so it's non-mulesed, mulesing free. And then I'm combining it with Knitting For Olive's soft silk mohair, and this is the copper colorway. So this is the combination that I'm using for this sweater, and here you can see how the yarns look together. So I'm really happy about this, and now that I've been knitting it, I'm thinking about doing another similar pullover, but leaving them kind of like the berries out, so combining these two lace patterns kind of like next to each other. Not sure if you can see. Let's see if I can fold it so that kind of like the berries disappear. Can't really do it, but you can imagine if these were like next to each other, so that's something that I'm planning to do. And like I said, this was a design submission that wasn't selected, and I think there are probably aspiring knitwear designers on the other side of the screen, and I think I've said this already multiple times, but I think one of the best pieces of advice I have ever gotten in this field of work was from Verena course a few years ago, and she said to me that you should only submit the kind of work that you would be excited to cast on immediately anyway if the design wasn't selected, and that's such a good idea. She said to me that if the design isn't selected for the publication, you have already done the groundwork. So you have made a swatch, you have drawn your schematics, you have thought about the construction, so if it's bottom up or top down or seamed or seamless, you have thought about the yarn, is it fingering weight, is it DK weight, you have the swatch ready, so you can just measure the gauge and start working on the math, and you have thought about the proportions of the design and so on. So you have already laid the groundwork for it, so it's just go after that. So you shouldn't like cast away all the work that you have done. And I think that's such good advice that relates to other topics in life as well, and not just knitting or knitwear designing, to only do the things that you are 100% sure and behind, and if you do it, then commit it to 100%, just not to do things half-heartedly or try to do something that you think other people want you to do. So that's something that has really helped me with my design career. And like I said, I really like this design even though it wasn't selected, so I wanted to cast on it anyway. So here is the Foxberry Pullover, and I'm probably going to do summer t-shirt version as well later in the year or next year, so it's ready for next summer, so even that idea doesn't go to waste. So that's the Foxberry Pullover. Like I said, I will write all the yarn names, colorway names, everything I mentioned below this video, so you can easily check them out if you missed what I said. Another thing that I'm knitting at the moment is this hat. I needed something small and easy and portable, so I cast it on a very simple 2x2 ribbed hat. It started from the top, so now it's just like basic 2x2 ribbing, and I needed something that I can knit while I go to my son's football practice, so I can just mechanically knit it and I don't have to really watch what I do, and I can watch him play and so on. And something small that is easy to take with me and put in my bag if I don't do it at the moment. I'm using Sandnes Garn. This is the double Sunday and the colorway is 9882. It's like a really dark khaki and green. So you can see here is the colorway name and the yarn. Double Sunday, Sandnes Garn. It's a really nice yarn. I use this for the Riento tea in the summer and also for my Hanko pullover. It's a really nice. It's quite soft, but it's still quite crisp. It's not as rough as, for example, Dererum Naturas Gilead, but I think it's still. For example, if you compare to knitting For Olive's yarn, I think it's quite similar to their heavy merino. So it's super nice yarn, and this is the hat that I'm making. So I've just something simple, and as I'm holding it double, I'm using 5mm needles, so it knits up quite quickly. And I wanted to have something with a brim that I can fold. Maybe I was planning to fold it triple, so it's like super warm, because here in Helsinki it will get quite cold in the winter, and we live on this like small island in Helsinki. So I often, when I go to almost every time I walk with our dog, I go by the shore, so especially in the winter it can get quite chilly, so I need something super warm. And the last thing I wanted to show you in today's video was the sweater I made for Eetu. Can't remember if I already showed this to you in my previous video, but if I did, you can see it again. So this is Eetu's sweater. It started at the neckband, and then there's this color work section, and then it's worked to the base of the tail, so the back, and then there are these little leg holes. And I used Knitting For Olive's Heavy Merino for this one, and this is the colorway Pearl Grey, I think, and this is dark ochre. And I really like this stitch pattern that I created for the sweater, so I wanted to do a sweater for me as well using the same yarn. So here it is, and this is the adult human version of the same design. So as you can see, it has the same stitch pattern, except that I added this one set of half moons here, and this is a circular yoke, and this is quite straight. And using the same yarn in different colorways. So it's knitting For Olive's Heavy Merino, and this is the Mushroom Rose colorway. It's really nice. It's just slightly pink or blush, like a powder color. It's like grayish beige with just the tiniest hint of pink, so it's super nice. And the contrasting color is there, the same yarn. The colorway is called Dark Moose, and it's like this grayish brown or brownish gray, like this darker color. And I'm calling this a VARGÖ pullover. And VARGÖ, it's a Swedish word. It means like the Wolf Island or the Island of Wolves, and it's a part of Suomenlinna Island that's situated in front of Helsinki. And we often go to Suomenlinna for a day trip, especially in the summer when it's not windy, when it's nice weather. We like to go there, and that's why I named it VARGÖ. And I also think that because it's also a dog sweater, I think VARGÖ, the Wolf Island, is a good name for a dog sweater design. So I only have the second sleeve, and then this is it's already currently being test knitted. So I'm hoping to get both versions, the human version and the dog version, out before Christmas. Let's see if I can make that happen. That's pretty much everything I had for today's video. I also published 3 new patterns last week, in case you haven't noticed. So I published the Muru pullover, Keaton West and Kanelbulle hat last Friday, and starting to think I probably will keep doing these like small collections rather than publishing all patterns individually, because that's actually how I work behind the scenes. So I also always think about like larger collections rather than just individual patterns that I have usually put out. And also it streamlines my work when I can focus on one thing at a time and not like do every week do layout and so on. So it helps me with that, and also marketing. So every time a new pattern comes out, I have to start the marketing beforehand, and then especially when it comes out, and then keep marketing it afterwards to make people notice that a new pattern comes out. And if I have to kind of do that every week, then those things overlap. So when I still have to market the previous pattern, I should already start marketing the next pattern. And I think it's a bit confusing, and it's hard for me to focus on what I should be doing at the moment. So that's why I rather wanted to start creating these kind of like smaller collections and focus on that more. And what was I going to say? So this is like the November collection. I wanted to think what are the essential things that you need this November. So I came up with the idea of having this collection of one sweater, one vest, and one hat, and having them as like this small collection. And you can still buy all the patterns individually on Ravelry. So if you only want to buy, for example, Muru pullover, you can just buy that as you have always done with my patterns. So no need to buy the whole collection. But if you want to buy the whole collection, that's also an option. So it's kind of like an ebook. And in the future, I would like to add something extra to the ebook. I just haven't yet decided what that would be. So if you have any ideas, I would love to hear them. So you can comment below the video what you think would be something you would want to see in this like little ebook. So first I was thinking about maybe I will add a seasonal recipe, but then I'm not really, even though I love to cook and I love to bake, then making a recipe is again something you have to be really careful that you have all the measurements right, and I'm not really great at taking food photographs, so I gave up on that idea. But I was thinking maybe I could add for example lists like my favorite books or my favorite movies or songs that I listen to at the moment, but it should be something that because the ebook will be available for a longer time than just like, for example, this November, so it has to be something that carries for a longer time. So I haven't really settled on the idea yet, but if you have a great idea what you would love to see in the ebook, because I would love to bring to the ebook something more than it's not just like 3 patterns put together, but I want there to be something a bit extra, something so that you get a bit more than just 3 patterns. Of course, you get the 3 patterns for a slightly less money than if you would buy them all individually. But anyway, I want to add something more to it. But let's see what I come up with. Yeah, I'm going to publish a December collection as well, and I think it will have at least the Sveaborg pullover and probably the Talvi pullover, or either Sveaborg or Billy. Let's see which 2 will be part of the collection, and then I want to add there something smaller, but I don't know yet what that's going to be. But yeah, that's everything I had for today's video. Thank you for watching, and if you like my videos, remember to subscribe to my channel so you will always get notified when a new video comes out. And yeah, see you. Bye.